All right, folks, it's Tuesday. After a holiday weekend, 3 days of kicking back. Some of us wasn't kicking back, but it's all right, folks. We are here today. Dusty's in the dugout. It's about to go down, folks. Like I say every week, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks, from Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and my main man, Dusty Vision, in the dugout, ready to throw down and make it happen, folks. Here we go.
Yeah.
What up, Dusty?
Can't complain, man. Beautiful day out here in Los Angeles. How about you, man?
Man, it's cool, Doc. You know what? It's beautiful out there. It should be by now. It should be a lot more sunlight in the daytime, you know?
Yeah.
So I like an overcast day, but come on, by noon, I'm looking for the sun to kick in. I ain't broke the Cadillac out yet. I don't drive the Cadillac. This is a sunshiny day. Can't be too hot, but damn sure can't be too cloudy. So I've been waiting to wash it and roll out. Man, I ain't went nowhere yet.
What year is your caddy?
85.
85. That's a good caddy. How long have you had that?
I had it, man, about 17 years. My son was like 3 years old. Almost 18 years, dude. Almost 18 years. I bought it. I was either going to buy a Harley or something, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted. I had some money that was burning in my pocket. And at that time, my son was rolling with me everywhere I went. And I couldn't put him on the back of a motorcycle. Couldn't do that to him. And I said, well, I'm going to buy me something I can get some sunshine on my forehead. And I bought this convertible 85 Cadillac Barrettes. And
I had no idea you were into bikes, man. I don't think I knew that.
I was going to buy one. I've been riding bikes off and on all my life. Until I got older. I had mini bikes and motorcycles and all kind of shit when I was younger. It just, as I got older, I just, I still like them. I just didn't own one. And I said, I got this money. Maybe I'll buy me a bike. My buddies was buying bikes. I'm saying, nah, I'm going to do something a little different. I got shit to do. I can't afford to be up in traction.
There it is, man. There it is. Well, let's get into it, man. It's been an interesting week in the news side and in the personal side. Would you care to touch on a couple of things? We had MC8's response to your response regarding world-class wrecking crew being corny. And we also had BJ from Bounty Hunter sharing some thoughts on your interview with Boss Talk 101. I'll let you take it from here.
Well, me and I'm going to talk to 8 next week. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, Doc. It's a little different. When you're grown ass, man, you don't get mad about shit like that. You just, it may be disappointing to think somebody that you helped felt you was corny. And we're going to talk about it. I got invited to him and Steele's show next week, next Tuesday. And if you want to roll, you feel welcome. Come on, roll with me.
Most def.
And I, like I said, I just felt, bro, you could have, you could have said that. If you'd have said that back then, we might not be having this conversation today. Anyway, it's all right. It is what it is, man. It is. Everybody got their taste. They taste, but it's just certain people, man, I think should get not really a pass, but hey, man, I ain't a favor of his music, but thank God the brother was there for us to do what he did. I don't know. I don't get no thank yous, man. I don't appreciate that. I get criticism, but no thank yous. And that's the part that's disappointing.
Yeah. Well, tune into Gangster Chronicles. They have a great show, great channel over there on Soapbox Digital. Shout out to them. We'll be on there next Tuesday. I'll be playing the background.
My boy from Boss Talk. We talked yesterday for a minute, man. I'm like, dude, I refuse to get into it. Anybody at 60-something years old over some shit happened 30 years ago, man. I don't remember the date. I remember the situation.
Especially I remember the
situation, and some things it didn't come out true to me, and I'm gonna leave it like that, man. It ain't that damn serious, dude. I swear to God, it ain't that serious. If it is, you by yourself on that one, Doc. I can't have it. I can't deal with it. Okay. I'm not going. I got other shit to worry about today than worry about something happened 30-something years ago. And nobody died. Nobody made no money off of it. Nobody died. What's the big deal? This is a story to tell. And here's what I tell people all the time, man. When it comes to stories, everybody got a different version of the same story, man. Unless you was all sitting looking at the same thing at the same time, which is not always the same situation. Everybody got a different story, man. Even when it comes to West Coast hip hop, people will tell you what they did and what I didn't do, blah, 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 but I was there. So, my story, my version is one thing, and here's something else. I'm not calling them a lie, but I do know the club didn't burn down, and that's all that's the only thing we had a conflict on. Everything else happened. I don't, the part about him mobbing, like I said, I explained that, why I felt that he may have felt one way. I know that I did it. I had a certain reason. I had to deal with Bone from Anthem Park, my boy Yellow Ice from Pyru, and BJ. And with all of them got in free, just look out for your boys, man. That's it. Just keep your boys in line. And that was my understanding. And anything else is not to my recollection, Doc. And I'm gonna leave it like that.
There it is. Let's move on to some crazy news. Before we do that, man, we got to talk about a legend. Tina Turner passed away within the past week. I got hip to Tina Turner in '84. What's Love Got to Do with It? And then obviously later on down the line, I realized that she was just really good before that, and she had a lot of stuff with Ike and Tina. What are your memories of Tina Turner?
Man, as a kid, I remember my mom's friend bought a Tina Turner wig, and she didn't look nothing like Tina Turner. And I remember my mom and her friend, like, this woman, she needed to buy a mirror or something, because she just bought the wig. But she was a big Tina Turner fan, and she bought this wig, and she was shaking it and dancing around, and everybody like, you need to sit your ass down. But that's just the only thing I can remember. Again, man, that was, even for me, that was way, I was a kid, dude. I remember they used to play doodles. That I do remember. They used to play doodles. Okay?
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Ike and Tina Turner used to play doodles. In fact, here's something you know what? Now that you mentioned, you just shook a memory loose. About 3 weeks ago, the neighborhood council that runs my area, she sent out an email about all the houses in my neighborhood that were once owned by celebrities. Okay. Of course, I told you about Etta James's house. I bought my house from Johnny Otis. Another famous baseball player lives around the corner, Johnny Roseboro. Rosie Greer lived in the same neighborhood. But also, Ike and Tina had a house over here, right around the corner from where I live at. Okay. I know the house is she gave me a list of all the addresses. The reason why we had the conversation is I wanted her to add the N.W.A. story to Johnny Otis's house. Okay. And she came by here, and she was so surprised that that the house was owned by, I carried on the legacy of music from the house. And in fact, a couple days after that, I'm minding my own business, and 3 ladies knocked on the door barefoot, tripped me out. Older ladies, barefoot, just walking through the neighborhood. And my son said, some white ladies at the door, Pops, they want to see you. I go to the door, and the lady says, Mister, I know you're going to think we're crazy. We were just walking the neighborhood. I used to live over here. And in fact, I used to live in your house. My dad built your house back in 1947. I mean, we had the house built in 1947. I'm like, wow. So she came in. I let her come in the house for a minute. She walked around, and I told her the history of the house when I bought it, because her dad sold it to Johnny Otis. But her dad was an architect, and he had the house built over here, and sold it to Johnny Otis. And I told her that it's the same house as straight out of Compton, and they'd all seen the movie. And it just was, just an interesting situation that, didn't mean that to nobody. It only been something to us, but I had to share that story since we're talking about that whole situation.
Very cool. Very cool. Speaking of the legacy of your house, before we move on, let's talk Boys in the Hood specifically. We've talked about it at length, but I kind of have a specific question, because I've been to your studio. So when you walk in, anyone who doesn't know, walk in, it's 3 rooms, right? You got the room on the left, then you got the middle room where the green screen is, and then you got your room to the right where there's, all your electronics and stuff like that in your studio and all that, right?
It used to be this should be 2 rooms.
Yeah, break it down. What was it like back when you were recording with N.W.A. and all that? What did your studio look like?
When I first bought it, it was a control room and a huge band room. Just the band room got to be about 1,500 square feet. The studio itself is 2,200 square feet. Okay. The studio is bigger than my house, technically. My house is 2,200, and the studio, the house is 2,100. The studio is 22. Okay. And because back then all the equipment was huge, everything was big. it was like the prehistoric equipment, literally. Big 8-track. It only had was an 8-track. It was big. They used 2-inch tape on 8-tracks back then. Mixing board had big knobs and stuff, and everything was live back then. So you had to have plenty of room for all the instruments. And this was the reason why it was built like this. Johnny had just got a deal with CBS and got a big money deal, built the studio. And then he got another big deal with Back to the Future and bought him a mansion out in Altadena and left the house. It's abandoned. In fact, his son, Shuggy Otis, wrote the song Strawberry Letter 23 by the Brothers Johnson. So all that history came out of here. All of it.
Nice, nice. Dude, this is a real history lesson for anyone who is a big history nerd like myself. All right, so there's a backyard also that if you walk out of your studio, there's a backyard, there's like a bench and stuff like that. So are you telling me back in the day, the likes of Eazy-E, Dre, just the who's who were just hanging out? Were they hanging out in that area?
We hung out on the deck. I have a deck right by the studio. I had a big backyard. Even with all the stuff built up, I still got a big backyard. And we hung out in the studio. And I had a patio area, and I always had a jacuzzi. That was one of the first things I bought when I moved here was a jacuzzi. So I had a jacuzzi in the patio, and we just had a ball. Johnny he loved animals. So where my patio is off my living room, used to be a bird cage, big old, huge open bird cage. In the window, it was birds, but he would let them out in the patio. And they would fly around the patio. He closed the patio door, and it'd be bird. When I bought the house, it was bird shit everywhere. And then he had a fish pond, a koi pond out in the back. I still got the fish pond. I don't want no fish in it right now, but I still let the pump run and let the water flow from time to time. But yeah, it's one of a kind, dude. It's one of a kind.
Damn.
Behind the studio, it's a mole yard that I never cut.
Oh shit! I don't think I've been back there.
It's since you've been over here, I took the room that was behind where the green screen is. I cut a door, a window, some other stuff, and put a toilet. I turned that into an apartment building for my niece. I've turned it into like a little bachelor pad. So
nice.
Yeah, so she stays back there, and I still got plenty of room to do what I want to do. I mean, I could host a whole bunch of folks here.
All right, let me go ahead and not give this idiot any attention. We'll put him on timeout. Someone who doesn't like something I said on my personal show, Dusty Vision TV. But anyway, let's keep it pushing. We're not going to give him any pub today. All right, so my brother sent me this record, Lonzo. He's a big vinyl collector. He loves vinyl, and a lot of your stuff is on here. People that you're associated with. Now, I sent you the picture, and you said that it looks legit, but it doesn't look like one of your records. So I'm gonna kind of break it down for everybody what I'm reading on the white label here. So it's Dunk Your Funk, LA Beats, the definitive street funk from the West Coast. Does that ring a bell to you or anything?
Oh, look on the bottom of it. There should be some real small writing around in a circle. What is in the circle? What does it say?
So I see funk, a CD dunked in the funk, DYF 002, 33.5 RPM. It has it has all the songs on here, and it has all the apostrophes, like who wrote the song. Like Juice is on here. It says, M. Hawkins, A. Young, A. Caribbean, who we all know those names if you know. But I don't see anything in a circle. Let me see. 25.
Around the edges?
No.
It don't say anything like JD.
Oh, let's see.
Around the edges. Usually they would put the distributor around the edges, distributed by, or the label.
No, nothing.
I think that.
So maybe would this be considered a bootleg or?
Nah, it might. If they if they gave you all the credit, normally it's not a bootleg.
Okay.
That may be a licensing deal we did quite some time ago. It looked like something JDC may have done. Jim Kaplan out of San Pedro. I think he had either he had a deal. He might have got the deal for us, or it might be something he did on the subsidiary label.
Okay. And it's a licensing deal.
Right.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Can you tell if it's all one record or is it individual songs?
It's individual songs. So I was going to actually read them off to you. There's a side A and a side B there. It looks like there's 7 songs total, I believe. But
look at the
first.
Go ahead. Pull it out of the sleeve.
Uh-huh.
Do you see 7 gaps, or you see one no gaps?
So it's I see like it. What do you mean when you say gaps?
No gaps. I can't see any dark lines from the very beginning to the end. There's no dark lines. That's a mega mix.
Okay. So this would be a mega mix. Okay. So the first song would be, it looks like Rockberry Jam on side A, which is LA Dream Team. That's the one. Ooh, Rockberry, right? That's Rockberry Jam. Pretty popular hit. Very popular hit, actually. Bob Beats by DJ Unknown. B.O.B. Beats.
Bob Beats.
Yeah.
We all did a lot of alias shit, man. Unknown might have did that. They don't tell him. He was also the Facade too.
That was like his nickname, or
Facade, X-Man. He did X-Man, Facade, and a few other things.
Okay, all right. And it has his real name here. I don't know if he wants me to share it, so I'm not gonna share it. But let's see, Def Momentum by Def with DJ 3D.
DJ 3D.
Yeah, it says DEF Momentum, and it's an acronym, Def DEF with DJ 3D.
Yeah, 3D. He died. He died. He was one of the first hip. He was one of the first.
Okay.
He died young too. One of the first.
Ooh, tell us about 3D. What you know about him?
He was a young dude out of Gardena, if I'm not mistaken. Unknown worked with him a lot back in the day because he was a real talented young guy, and I think he had cancer or something, man. Because I met him, he was around for a while, then he got sick and he died. I didn't know him. I don't remember going to a service because I didn't know him that well, but he was around. But DJ 3D, he definitely was a youngster. Definitely was a triple OG. He was like, man, he was down there with Arabian Prince, far as young OGs. Arabian Prince he's a young OG. He's a young triple OG. I mean, he was back there, like that, doing his own thing. When we were coming up, we were just a little bit ahead of him, not a whole lot. But and 3D was the same way. He was very talented cat. He was a great DJ. He was more of a rapper, if I'm mistaken. He would think he was more of a rapper than a DJ. I can't recall a whole lot, but I know he died. That part I do know.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So this next one's Surgery. We obviously know, and it says the World Class Wrecking Crew, but it has 3 names, and your name isn't involved. It has Caribbean, which is remind me again. Caribbean is
Antoine, DJ Yella.
DJ Yella. M. Hawkins is
the Clientele.
Okay, and Andre Young is obviously Dr. Dre.
Right.
And they're all in parentheses, but no Lonzo Williams. I'm interested.
Yella shouldn't be on there, and I should be on there.
Huh? Yellows. They got him. Okay.
He never was a writer. I think he might have wrote this one part on co-wrote his part on Lovers. He was never one of the writers. He did music, but he wasn't a writer.
Okay, good to know. And this next song, Egypt, huge hit. I mean, to this day, they play it. I hear it all the time from Egyptian Lover. Can you talk to us about Egyptian Lover a little bit, and specifically that song, Egypt? And was it popping right away, or did it take some time? Was it always a hit?
Egyptian Lover is from the Uncle Jam's Army camp. According to Snake Puppy from the LA Dream Team, he and Egypt used to walk to Eve After Dark back in the day to come see Wrecking Crew perform at Eve After Dark. And Egypt, he went to LA High, and eventually he started DJing. And at I think about 18 or 19, fresh out of high school, he went and cut the song Egypt. And that son of a bitch, I got, as much as I hate to admit it, that motherfucker came out banging from day one. Okay. Came out banging from day one. And we had just dropped, I think we had dropped Surgery first. And Surgery couldn't compete because Surgery was good, but it wasn't Egypt. and it was blowing up. And he got a deal with McCullough. He was one of the first. He was the first West Coast act to just blow up independently. Now, we had a lot of success, but we didn't blow up like he did independently. We didn't blow up until Turn Off the Lights. We had a good success with our first world-class album. In fact, Egypt was what made me go cut the world-class album, because we were by him being a part of the Uncle Jam's Army team, we can't let them beat us. We can't let them beat that. So they already had a single. It was banging. They only had one song though. We dropped Surgery, then we dropped Juice, and that kept us on the mark. Then we dropped the first West Coast slow jam, which was Lovers, and that got us all kind of radio play. And that shit was still smoking though. I can't take nothing from it. I'm not that kind of cat. And then I said, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna drop the first West Coast album, and that's how we came to drop the world-class album. And that kept us afloat, gave us some competition.
Nice. And not to get into another man's pockets, but do you know if he owns the song? Do you know if he's made a shit ton of money? If he's still making money to this day?
Still make money on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. He still owns that. To my knowledge, he still owns that song to this day. We all fighting with McCullough, because McCullough sold all that shit to somebody overseas illegally. So we're all going through shit right now to get our shit back overseas. But for the most part, he owns his shit.
Damn. And does he have anything to do with Egypt? Is he connected with Egypt? Is he really Egyptian, or is that just his name?
Nah, it's just his name. He ain't no more Egyptian than Arabian is Arabian.
Love it. I don't know if that would fly nowadays, but right.
And that's the part I keep on. It just amazes me, man, that people still want to compare our time to current times. It was two different times, man. Our goal was never to impress as my boy would say, another nigga. Okay, we wasn't trying to impress another set of balls. We trying to get at the girls, okay? And we wasn't trying to be hard. We was trying to be as smooth as possible, as debonair as possible. And that was our get down. Understand this. Uncle Jam's Army, Wrecking Crew, everybody before dope became the hustle of the streets, we gave dances for a living. We gave parties for a living. That's what we did. So why would we make some music that's going to tear up our parties? As soon as gangster rap became the music of the streets, clubs started shutting down. That was bad for business. We had enough sense, just like your girl did last week.
Lexi Gold, shout out.
Lexi Gold, shout out to baby girl. She was smart enough to make music for herself, for her to dance to. And we did the same thing. We made records that people dance to at our clubs. We did that, okay? And because we had a connection with Greg Mack on K-Day, it just made everything that much bigger, a much better trifecta. And it just blew up the West Coast overall. And we laid the foundation for all the disrespect that we get. We laid the foundation for all the disrespect that we get. No, we're not gonna go. These groups, we're not gonna go on tour together. Okay, we have different clientele, but the streets were different. So it's like saying you racing a Model T with a Tesla. They both got cars, but they at that time, that's the best. And at some point in time, a Tesla's gonna seem old. At some point in time, now I tell you, dude, when I had my brick phone back in the late 80s, early 90s, that was high technology, man. My brick on that hood, in the hood of that Cadillac, that was the highest technology you could get at that time. Now you get clowned for the same thing that at one point in time, these phones are going to be fucking antiques. You watch. They're gonna stick a chip up your ass or some shit. I don't know. They're gonna do something. You might put an SD card up your ass or whatever to get a signal. I'm not sure, but at some point in time,
and you know there are gonna be lines of people with their asses sticking out. Don't him?
Niggas had their ass in the window, with a USB card up their ass. But it's just amazing, man. That this the part that I got to give respect to Latinos and white folks for, because they appreciate the culture, the evolution of what we did. And this is something I think is a problem for black folks in general, not only with hip hop, but just in everything. We don't respect the stuff that we did, and we just we create such a creative group of people that we don't respect the forefathers and mothers that paved the way to get us where we're. Nobody don't care about Martin Luther King these days.
Isn't that crazy, man?
He gave his life. They can give them my money. Okay.
He's clowned upon. I mean, they pull up shit like he was too weak. They talk about him having affairs. Like I'm like, this is the guy who is probably, the reason why you're here right now in a lot of ways.
Right. So when you but everybody, they love Malcolm. I love both. I got love for both of them, but they love Malcolm because he was ready to shoot folks. Okay. I understand. Sometimes, and at one point in time, Martin was getting more like Malcolm. Okay. He got tired of them dogs chewing on his ass too. So it became, the evolution was starting, but as you all know, he didn't make the full transition. So when you look back, and hindsight being 2020, everybody got something to say, but you wasn't saying nothing at that time. It's easy to go back and judge, or what I'm thinking, criticize something that you had nothing to do with. It's easy to sit on the sidelines. Well, that play should have been done by you. You sit at home on your 60-inch TV, or the quarterback should have went to the left. You don't have 11 big son bitches chasing your ass down. You ain't been running.
Monday morning quarterback.
Huh?
Monday morning quarterback.
Right. People want a Monday morning quarterback life. You can't do that. Where was you at when it came time to do that? If you wasn't born yet, appreciate what they did and keep it pushing. And that's the part that's really disheartening for a person who did so much. They have to be disrespected by folks that, hey man, come on, dude. But for a generation that demands so much respect, they sure are slow to give it out.
There it is, folks. Before we move on, make sure you hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button if you are not a member of the show. We really appreciate you joining us. This is something that I've heard in the comments. I've been reading the comments, on other channels and things like that over the past week in ours. But was World Class Wrecking Crew an R&B group, a rap group, a fusion of both? What would you explain, World Class Wrecking Crew as, if you had to someone?
We were the scratch. We were the segue between R&B and rap, Doc. Rap was not fully accepted when we first started doing our shit. And people, if you wasn't born yet, you don't know, you don't understand what I'm talking about. World Class Wrecking Crew was on the cusp of West Coast hip hop and R&B. We were an R&B hip hop group. Yeah, how do you do that? It's just like you are a country and Western hip hop group. You just blend. You blend the two styles together. Yes, we did. We rap. We wasn't power rappers. We wasn't trying to compete with nobody because what am I to compete with? And Toddy T did his thing. Mixmaster Spade did his thing. But at that time, we were only looking at guys like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Cool Mo D, and these kind of acts. And they hadn't blown up completely. Grandmaster Flash did. But again, the biggest rap record was Sugar Hill. It was bigger than The Message. Eventually, The Message caught up. But we played Sugar Hill in the club. We didn't really play The Message that much. It was a good record, but we didn't play it. So we tried to go where the money is, and the money was.
Thank you, Marlon. Good looking out on that 1999.
He was got his income tax check. I'm just clowning, Doc. Happy birthday to you, dude. it was an evolution, man. You know, it wasn't. It was nobody that could define what we were doing at that time. We were just trying to do something that was gonna fit because ain't what we can't sing, so we're not R&B. Rap is coming, but it ain't all the way here yet. We can't, ain't nobody wearing no jeans on stage. Nobody's wearing jeans on stage, so we can't wear jeans. We can't wear tennis shoes on stage because ain't nobody wearing jeans on tennis shoes. Run DMC hadn't even blown up yet when we came out. They were still up and coming. Remember, I just booked them a year or two before we started doing records. They the ones that made us want to do records in the first place. If I'm booking a motherfucker in June and I make my record in November, he ain't blown up yet. So these are the kind of decisions we had to make. And I'm just saying, man, it don't make no sense. It don't make no difference. Whether we rapped on our records. I was the first one to put a girl on the record. What that make me? That take away from I was the first one to put a female. LL Cool J did the first rap ballad, I Need Love. Me and Klein Taylor, we all riding back from a gig in Oakland. And we heard I Need Love on the radio. I said, we need to do the same shit. What you mean? I said, man, we can't sing till we get a girl to sing on the record. Fuck it. Okay? And because I'm an old school cat, I remember the Floaters. I just did what the Floaters did and put a girl on it because we couldn't sing. I put a girl on the hook.
That's right. They did that whole song where they were talking the lyrics. Hi, right. I'm a Capricorn, blah, 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 all that, right? Yeah.
Right. I put a girl on the hook. So, dude, I never claimed to be Rakim. Why? No, we was making music. We was having fucking fun. Okay, anything else is not my fucking lane. And I don't know why. No. Don't do that. We were the missing link between R&B and West Coast and hip hop, man. We were the missing link. You know, we didn't walk all the way straight up in hip hop. We weren't on all fours like R&B. We was, you know, we kind of walk with a hump on our backs. And the first year of doing shows, all we performed with was R&B acts. There were no hip hop acts around to perform with. So how in the fuck I'm gonna go out there wearing tennis shoes and grabbing my nuts, talking shit to who? Wasn't nobody buying that shit yet. God damn! Nobody buying that shit. Nobody bought that shit to damn near 2 or 3 years later. Get up off me with that shit. It's frustrating. People don't understand. The whole world was not always gangster, and that's what I think people forget. I have to remember that myself. I have to remember there was a time in the world when the whole music, the streets was not gangster, man. The streets were not always gangster. We did shit. Streets was never totally safe, but they was always, you could go to the store, that's your mama worrying about you. You can go to the park, your kids can play in the park, go to the park and just go play, come back when the street lights get on. And if they didn't, you whooped their ass. Nobody took you to jail for that shit. Okay? It just was a different fucking time, and the music was different. I had different influences. I wasn't influenced by Rakim till later on. I wasn't influenced by this shit till later on. I'm influenced by Curtis Mayfield, the Floaters, Dramatics, Temptations. These are the people that's rocking this shit. When you look at the charts, I'm competing with them. Ain't no rapper on the charts but Turn Off the Lights came out. I'm gonna look again. I'm gonna look to find out. I got the chart. I got a couple of charts. I'm gonna see what rappers were really hot, was really cracking at that time. It may have been Kid and Play.
That's good.
Huh?
That's a good one. We should do that.
You give me a second. I got the chart. Hold on. Give me a second.
Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing. I'll keep them entertained. Yeah, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not. Shout out to Marlon Cozy, my fellow Gemini brother. Love you, man. Isaiah Edwards, thank you so much. I think I saw Rashard in the building. Shout out to Backup. Shout out to iMac Music. You're dropping some good stuff. Shout out to the STEM Radio. Make sure you guys subscribe to the STEM Radio. They're right there in the chat as well. Much love, man. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Damn it. All right, what do we got? Go for it. We're breaking down what rappers were on the charts at the same time you were on there, right?
I would get all my charts. Not Fiestar, that's what Wreckin' Cru was. Okay. When I was doing this shit right here, let me see here. Full Force is higher up than us. Kool Moe Dee was higher up than us. Dana Dane, Force MDs, and that was it. And just being on the charts, period, with us. Let me see here. I'm looking. I'm struggling. I'm trying my best. Sweet Tea, wherever that, I don't remember her. But Stevie B, I remember him. But this is the chart from 1988. Okay, 1988. I'm looking at the black singles charts from Billboard. Okay, the black singles chart from Billboard. All right, the hottest record, period. The hottest record on the chart, number one, was Gladys Knight's "Love Overboard." The Kashif, "Love Changes." "I Want Her" by Keith Sweat had just come the fuck out. Okay, y'all ain't even remember that song. Half of y'all remember that damn song. The Force MDs, "Someone to Love Me for Someone to Love Me for Me," with Lisa and Cult Jam. Are they rappers? Are they hip hop? What? Help me understand. Lisa and Cult Jam. They still be on the freestyle shows. Was Full Force a rap group? Come on, man. Let's understand your history, our history. Who else? Kool Moe Dee. "How You Like Me Now." Niggas don't even play that no more. I guess that was corny too. He talking about niggas getting claps, catching the clap. Okay. "How You Like Me Now." That's what him and LL was going back at it. Okay. So these are the kind of shits that this was my heyday, 1988. Okay. NWA nowhere on the charts. It's on Dana Dane. This be the death beat. I ain't never heard that before. I couldn't tell you. If you played it right now, I couldn't tell you what it was. Okay. I'm touring with Roger, Surface, Zach,
crazy.
Tony Terry, Force MDs. Force MDs and Wrecking Crew was a hot combination back in the day. So these are the acts that I'm rocking with. If ain't even when Kool Moe Dee was hot, Kool Moe Dee looked like my boy from I just watching the show last week on TV. Avery Brooks, Hawk, looked like a man, he looked like a man named Hawk. Okay, a man called Hawk. He had on thick glasses. He had on the little Kofi type hat, and that was his style. The leather jackets and shit. To the IRS took all that shit. That's how rappers dress. Houdini didn't wear tennis shoes. Houdini, Funky Beat. I'm a hoe. Come on, man.
Boots, cowboy boots, all that shit.
Nigga had on cowboy boots and shorts. Come on, give me a break. This is the real shit, man. We got Rakim played in full a little. It went on this chart with us. I don't know I forgot when it came out. It might have came out in '87. I'm not sure, but I do remember listening to Rakim paid in full. We love that shit, but that wasn't our thing yet. Okay, remember, man, Timberlands and shit like that. That's a New York thing, dude. We don't wear Timberlands. We just started wearing Timberlands to the '90s. Why we gotta wear Timberlands? Niggas wear slides and only two
at the beach.
only two shoes black folks wear in the hood is slides and motherfucking Jordans. That's it. Those cats, I get where you at. Be in a restaurant, got on slides. Okay, you got on suit and slides. All right. So what is the big problem? You don't understand the history. You don't understand the evolution, man. Nobody just fell out the sky and became gangster. That shit took a while. It took a while before motherfuckers got acclimated to seeing cats in jeans and tennis shoes. That's what eventually broke us up, because jeans and tennis shoes from the East Coast would run DMC, started making money, but it didn't change Houdini's shit. Then they make Force MDs put on tennis shoes. And that's the part I couldn't understand. We were a different group. Force MDs is considered hip hop. Force MD is considered hip hop.
There you go.
Okay. That we were like a hip hop funk band. All right. We carried, y'all never saw us on stage, man. We was the baddest motherfuckers on the set. We had a completely digital sound. Our shit sounded just like it came out the studio. We never. Well, I'm saying that we didn't until recently start using tapes. Okay. So yeah, this is real shit, man.
Yeah, Tony made a good point. Tony made a good point. He says Africa Bambaataa dressed like Parliament. I mean, you guys were, yeah.
You know, dude, it was a different fucking time, and I don't understand why people still want to try to compare. It was part of the evolution. Yes, Wrecking Crew, half of Wrecking Crew became NWA, but they was happy for a long time, and then the evolution started, and I stayed back. That wasn't what I wanted to do. And I still love my Jerry curl. I'm the only one who had enough hair to get a Jerry curl. Dre always wore his hair short. Yella, that motherfucker's hair wave up automatically. And Clientele, he had a Jerry curl for a hot minute, but he eventually cut it off. Okay.
There it is.
Hey, man. Forgive me for being a pioneer, Doc. When you were a pioneer, anybody paving no way for you. I'm looking at other cats down the road. Okay, Africa Bambaataa look like they're going to space. Nah. Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5, they got on cowboy boots, feathers, a headdress. No. Well, we got to do something different. We can't do that shit. But no, I ain't never heard nobody clown them for them feathers and shit, man.
Right.
I have never heard anybody East Coast or West Coast clown them for feathers and them headdresses and shit. But nigga with a Harris child that half the people in Compton wore, and some still do, still got to hear that shit. That just amazes me with that shit, man. That just amazes me. Mike, thank you, man. Niggas wore beaded jackets like they was Michael Jackson. They was trying to set their hair on fire just for the damn, just for the goddamn notoriety. Good thing we didn't have internet back then. Niggas that set their hair on fire just for the hell of it.
Oh man.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's just part of the history, dude. Cowboys wore chaps with their pants and shit. Prince wore a pair of pants with his ass out. Nobody even talk about that shit no more. When I say that shit, people are like, what? He did? Yes, Prince had a pair of pants with no ass cheeks in them. Okay? Nigga had a guitar that he jacked off and was fluid would come out. I don't know what kind of fluid it was, but he would jack off a guitar literally on stage, and that shit would get on your ass. And it got on me at the skating rink. Real talk.
Wow.
Real talk. I'm telling you history. Unfortunately, for me, my history goes back so far. I'm at the beginning of this shit, man. I'm not somewhere in the middle trying to play catch up. I'm at the very beginning trying to feel my way through. I didn't know what publishing was. I didn't know all I knew was you make a record, you sell it, you give your people some money. You have some fun, you get paid again, you give your people some money. And that's what we did for the first 3 to 4 years of doing Wrecking Crew. That's what we did. And we had a ball doing that. Publishing? Who? How much we supposed to get? No shit. Okay, that's how naive we were to the game. Wasn't nobody passing out no record company lessons. And the only reason why I learned this shit the way I did is when we got our CBS deal. My lawyer, I didn't have a manager per se. My manager quit. My first manager quit. My second manager quit. He didn't want us to go to CBS. I hadn't hired Jerry Heller yet. And my lawyer said, you don't need a manager technically, but if you want to save yourself $20,000, all you got to do is get yourself a cell phone. This was when cell phones was the big shit. Get yourself a cell phone, and I'll talk you through the contract. All your manager going to do is I'm going to tell him what I told, what me and the business affairs department worked out. I'm going to tell him, he going to tell you. You're going to pay the middleman $20,000 for just laying the message. If you get yourself a cell phone, I'll tell you directly, and you can save the money. And that's what I did. That's why I know the motherfucking record business. That's why how I learned the record business. Nobody was passing out, wasn't no books, wasn't no CDs, wasn't no DVDs, wasn't no YouTube channels, wasn't no seminars, wasn't shit. Come in here and take this fucking, and then after you get fucked a little while, we'll tell you how to get unfucked. But in the meantime, we're gonna take some of his ass. And that's how the game goes.
Damn, dude. And there was another comment that kept popping up in the comments over the past week. And it was also mentioned on the show as well. But there was another myth that you were a hip hop hater. We talked about this before, you know, and it's mainly due to the line in Straight Outta Compton. Don't be playing that whatever rap bullshit or whatever your line is. You know, we have new people who are going to be popping in because of certain situations, but break that down. You know, were you a hip hop hater?
How can Lonzo Williams be a hip hop hater if he was the first motherfucker to buy Curtis Blow a plane ticket to Los Angeles, the first motherfucker to buy Run DMC a plane ticket to Eve After Dark? I saw hip hop coming when nobody else did. I'm the one that put us in position to make the goddamn records. And I'm gonna say it again: if you want to hear the truth, fine. If you don't know, if you don't want to hear the truth, log off right now. I'm gonna give you a second to go find something else to do. Go find one of them bullshit channels. If you want to hear the truth, log off right now. Go grab one of them bullshit channels, and you'll hear some more bullshit. But if you want to hear the truth, I'm gonna tell you, just like I told my boy Boss Talk and some other podcasts. The only thing I did not care for when it came to N.W.A. was the name. That's what I hated on. Cube said it, and he's not only that. I'm responsible. Understand this. Let me say this. Cube is 15, maybe 16 years old when I met him. Him, Jinx, and KD, 15, 16 years old. Dre and him a little bit older. Cube wanted CIA to stand for Criminals in Action. I'm a grown-ass man with a house, a kid, and responsibilities. I can't, a black man, and y'all right now, that may have been a bad decision, but back then this was the best decision I could have made. I could not look these folks' mamas in the eyes. And yeah, your kid got a song group called Criminals with Action. He ain't no criminal. Why would he want to name as that? That's the kind of silly shit. That's the kind of shit I would be exposed to. And I know that. I get jammed by people while you have the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce, because I'm from Compton, damn it. But people can be so fucking petty. I refuse to put myself in that position. So they mean y'all got to call yourself something other than criminals. All right, Crew in Action. Cool, let's do that. And CIA went from Criminals in Action to Crew in Action. And that's the story. Cuba tell you the same thing. I wouldn't let them do it. Look here, man. I hate to tell y'all this, but I'm a responsible son of a bitch. I'm just an old, responsible son of a bitch from the 70s, born in the 50s, raised in the 70s, when the word nigger, I was talking about that today, when with some of my other buddies, the word nigger was not a term of endearment, dude, when I grew up. Never was. Y'all made that shit up. We didn't make that shit up. That's what y'all did. So when they came to me and told me they had a group called Niggas with Attitudes, I didn't like that. Straight up. Now, why would I not hate a song? Why would I not like a song like Boys in the Hood? Why would I not like a song like Panic Zone? Why would I not like a song like Something to Dance To? Because the last two, Panic Zone and Something to Dance To, ain't nothing but Wreckin' Crew songs with Arabian Prince doing the leads. All you people, N.W.A. was doing the same shit when they first came out. That's how they got to the radio with Greg Mack, because they couldn't play Boys in the Hood initially because it had cussing in it. Okay, this was the era they came up in, man. Cussing, man, come on, dude. Nobody was cussing back then. Yeah, it was shock value, but when you dealing with the heavyweight players that I'm dealing with at CBS, Larkin Arnold, look him up. That man behind Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Taste of Honey, Frankie Beverly and Mays, Marvin Gaye, Tina Marie, Luther Vandross. I can't take him a group called Niggas with Attitudes. I can't. Not a black man, not a grown-ass 29-year-old black man with a house and a car, never gangbanged a day in his life, grew up when my daddy would tell me shit like, don't nigger rig your car. Huh? Don't nigger up your car. Anytime my daddy used the word, the N-word, it was always in a negative connotation. He would tell me, don't nigger rig that project. Go get the right tools and get the right stuff. And I put some duct tape on some shit in a minute. Don't nigger rig that. Go get the damn screws and the bolts and do it right. This is how I was brought up, man. So you can't blame me for my upbringing and get mad at me because I was raised on a different operating system. It wasn't until maybe 10 years after that folks stopped pitching the picture behind it. Up until then, it was always a problem. It was a problem. Okay? It was a problem for everybody, not just Lonzo. And at some point in time, people said, okay, we don't like it, but okay. And that's where we at. That's what we got today, man. So anything other than that, no, dude, I'm not a hater. I never hated on shit. How can I hate on? I'm bringing in Compton's Most Wanted. I got compilation albums coming out my ass. I got the first Compton compilation. I got the second Compton compilation. I produced God knows what else on Makoto. I've been doing shit forever. Why did I not like rap music? They never did a rap song, a gangster rap song in their lives in front of me. The only reason why, I'm going to tell you again, if you're new listening, I'm going to tell you what happened at Doodles in real fucking life. And I'm still looking for this song right to this day. I'm looking for this song right now. It's a song called Fuck All Them Hoes. It was made, Dr. Dre produced it, but Jinx was the artist on the song. And at Doodles, which is much bigger than Eve After Dark, Doodles, Eve After Dark held 300 people. Doodles probably held about 1,500, maybe 1,000, 1,500 to 1,000, depending if you had tables and chairs or not. And it's because it was a different time and a different venue, I had to hire the police, the Compton PD, when they still had Compton PD. You're talking to a triple OG, folks. Don't let that movie get you fucked up. I had to hire the Compton PD to be my security guards. And I'm paying these guys. I got lieutenants. That's how I know Reggie Wright Sr. That's how I know his son. That's how I know Huey Taylor, who became the chief of police. But the guy who was in charge at that time, he was a lieutenant. His name was Lieutenant Elvis, white guy. Super cool guy. Always flirting with my girlfriend, but he didn't push up too much of a mash, so we kept it right, motherfucker. We kept it real light. But one night, after I just spoke to him, he called me over and Lonzo, come here. And he had the cop face on. What's happening, man? I could arrest you right now. For what? For contributing to the delinquency of a minor. What are you talking about? Well, I was so busy at the club at Doodles, running around doing what I always do. I wasn't paying the music no attention. Dre played this song, Fuck All Them Hoes. And at that time, Doodles, because it was so big and it was in Compton versus Eve After Dark in LA County, I was able to have 14-year-olds in there. And at that time, the world was a lot more sensitive to children and what children was exposed to. And when he played that song, Fuck All Them Hoes, was a strict no-no in 1985, 86. Strict no-no. I got jammed for it because I'm the man paying the money. I'm the man paying the DJ. I'm the man renting the room. I'm the man paying security guards. I get jammed about it. So I jammed his ass behind it. They took that story and turned it into what you saw straight out of Compton. One of the few times me and Dre ever had a problem. It wasn't because it was a hip-hop song. I ain't never heard, because think about it. When they were with me, they were doing CIA. Goddamn, motherfuckers are stupid. Look at the history. Don't be stupid. Look at the history. Look at the song titles. When they were with me, the first song they did with me, CIA, was She's a Skag. Okay? There ain't nothing wrong with that. That was a knockoff of that was a remake to one of them songs back in the day. We was doing the Answer record. Then they dropped the CIA Crew in Action, which was not a gangster rap record. And it was after Doodles.
Beastie Boys, right? Kind of.
Beastie Boys sounding record after Doodles. So when did I hear Ice Cube or anybody else do a gangster rap record? It wasn't no gangster rap records to be heard back then, folks. I'm tight to tell you that. Then what? Fly Girl, thank you, Derek Mallory. It was an answer to Fly Girls. She's a Skag was an answer to Fly Girls. So there was no gangster rap records to be heard back then. Gangster rap didn't come out till later on. And it damn sure wasn't that Doodles. Now, for all y'all think that the movie was a damn documentary, you some dumb son of a bitches. I'm sorry, I can't help you. If you want to believe that that movie was a documentary and that's the true story, have fun with it. I'm telling you what happened, because guess what? I was fucking there. And some of y'all wasn't even born yet, so why are you even talking to me? We got 5 minutes left. Y'all got my blood pressure up. I gotta go take me some goddamn blood pressure medication. Gotta smoke me some shit.
Well, anyway. Shit, man. Let's end it there, man. Let's talk about your show with Dre and anything else you got coming up.
Man, me and Dre getting ready for Legendary Connect Friday afternoon, as always. He's going through it right now, preparing to bury his mom on Friday. And but also, me and Dre will be doing a clubhouse on Friday at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. I got called into a clubhouse last Friday. Woke me up 6:30 in the morning, talking about the N-word and why we need to cut out our vocabulary. And it was amazing, man. It was amazing because the brother who hosted the show, hosted the clubhouse, at that day, he said, man, there's no conversation I could have that's going to make me take that word out of my vocabulary. I say, hey, man, I'm just giving you the real on how it came out of my vocabulary. And I still use it because you got to piss me off to use it. Give me to use it, though. Anyway.
Very rarely, yeah.
I talked to this brother yesterday. I talked to him Sunday morning. And he said, man, after I talked to you, my dad, and some other brothers, I understand where y'all coming from. And I appreciate that. And he said, I got to rethink my position. And that blew me away, dude, because last Friday he was adamant. He was adamant about that. And I explained to him, I said, man, there was no way in the world, and when I grew up, that word could ever be considered a term of endearment. It was, you don't nigger up your car. Don't be a nigger. Stop. Don't act like a nigger. That was drilled into my head as a kid. So for somebody to come, yeah, we're gonna be niggas with attitudes, huh? Why would you want to do that? It never set well with me. I'm sorry. It never set well with me. And that is my only rejection to what they did. By the time they became who they became, they'd already dropped the first EP. They had some other success. But one guy was like, man, weren't you jealous? When we broke up, I had turned off the lights. I was kicking ass. I was busy. After I got through my little depression, yes, I was slightly depressed because my house, big old house by myself. I had empty nest syndrome like a son of a gun. I got this big old house, me by myself and a roommate. That's it. So yeah, I went through some shit, but I got over it and went back to work. And this is the part that people don't understand. Dude, it wasn't always, and no matter what you think, it wasn't always gravy for them, dude. It wasn't always gravy, man. It wasn't always bright lights and limousines. It was a lot of bullshit. And meanwhile, when they was going through their bullshit, I was bright lights and limousine. So hey, nigga, bye, have fun. And the table shifted. Hey, what can I tell you? That's what life does it all the time. It's like a wave. It goes in, it goes out. Much love to everybody, man. All right?
Nice. Love it, man. Always a pleasure, Lonzo. Love this hip-hop. And you notice we stayed away from the niggaverse today. It was just straight up hip-hop history. It was just nice. It was just refreshing. And man, maybe next week we'll take a trip back there. But always a pleasure, man. I love hanging out with you, and we'll get together offline about next Tuesday.
You got it, folks. In the meantime, y'all have a good one, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the donation. Birthday is coming up sometime in the next few weeks. My boy Martin, I know you got a birthday coming up next week, I believe it is. I think the first this week. I think it's this week. Anyway, much love to you, Martin. Peace, folks.
We out of here, man. Love you guys.
See you next week. Peace.